My name is Russell Clayton, and I've actually lived in Marietta, Georgia all my life. I started collecting because I would go with my aunt to the auctions. I see a lot of history when I study Coca-Cola advertising. It's something that you look at and you get a good feeling from. In the early 70s, Raquel Welch was commissioned to do these fancy silver belt with a big logo on the side and a watch and a bracelet and that type thing. And my algebra teacher came into class one day with a Raquel Welch bracelet on. But her husband was a very, very important collector at the time. He really gave me a lot of things and encouraged me to be a collector. When I first started, I pretty much collected anything. The Coca-Cola Collectors Club had started in 1974, and I was one of the first members in that. Robert W. Woodruff came to Coca-Cola, I believe, in the 1920s. I was a great admirer of Mr. Woodruff, who was the president at one time and the chairman of the board. In a nutshell, he ran the company for 60 plus years. I would say that Mr. Woodruff is my greatest hero. And I enjoyed writing letters. I still enjoy writing letters, and I love getting mail. I wrote a paper about Mr. Woodruff, and when I got my paper back, I had done well on it, and so I wrote Mr. Woodruff a letter and told him that I had written a paper about him and that I'd made an A on it, and he wrote me back and says, "I don't ever remember making any kind of grade like that. You're certainly qualify as one of our biggest fans. We all appreciate your interest in the company and your support of our products. Yours sincerely, R.W. Woodruff." Athos Menaboni is an artist, born in Italy, but came to Atlanta and lived most of his life here. Particularly famous for his illustrations of birds. Just a humble, very loving and compassionate person, and to know how much he loved and enjoyed nature, he brought that to me. I walked into Rich's department store and I saw a stack of books called Menaboni's Birds, and I didn't care one iota about any birds. I didn't care really about bird art. This is what got me to pick the book up, and that was I knew that he was Mr. Woodruff's favorite artist. And I thought, okay, I need to see what this is all about. In 1951, he did a poster that was titled Play Refreshed. It was strictly centered on the idea of playing and relaxing in sports. There's a series of calendars that Coca-Cola has made over the years, and in 1959 they made a particular style called home calendar, which is much smaller. But what was so interesting to me when I found that calendar for the first time is, number one, it was a Coca-Cola calendar and I was collecting the memorabilia. Then Mr. Menaboni painted the birds in the calendar, and it was 1959, which is the year I was born. And so to me, it was like the stars lined up in the sky, and something was meant to be about this relationship.